My name is Lucio January. I'm the district manager for the Weslaco office. I started with Cutco 3 years ago, and I used to sell cars at the Paint Auto Group here in Weslaco. It wasn't until I reconnected with Nick Smith and I actually sold him a vehicle that I was able to get into the Cutco and the district manager opportunity. And today I'm actually going to share with you 10 things I wish I knew before being a business owner. So the first tip I have for everybody is just having the right habits and the discipline to be able to do the things that you need to all throughout the day. So a lot of times being a DM, there's a lot of downtime, there's periods where there's not stuff to do. So it's just about thinking and going through the process of just knowing what to do. So for example, waking up early, having people come into the office during the day, taking people out to lunch when there's downtime throughout the midday. A lot of different things that you can be doing, a little social media activity, flyering, just different activities. But I didn't have those right habits whenever I first started. I just kind of went through the motions of the day-to-day, doing the basic things like interviews and training, and it wasn't really focused. I wasn't committed to developing the right people. The second tip I have for y'all is just to equip yourself with the right programs and systems. When I first started off, I went through an MIT program and it just went by so fast that I didn't really have a focus when I first opened up my office. I didn't really know how to recruit the right way, how to have people do the right type of presentations. I didn't really know how to have 7 assistant managers. So a lot of things that were missing in my business were really detrimental to it, and I just didn't have those systems in place. And being closer to McAllen and being here in the South Texas division, I've been able to develop all those systems and programs and really implement them here in our office. So the third tip I have for y'all is that this business is really designed to help other people as opposed to just help yourself. When I came into this business, I had come from selling cars, so it was all about what I did, the activities I did, the income I made, and just not having that here in Vector, being about the people, being about the team that you work with is just so important because it's really about them. I know Zig Ziglar says it best, that if you can help enough other people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want in life, and that's really what Vector is all about. The fourth tip I have for y'all is that activity doesn't always mean growth. You have to focus on the right activities. So as a new manager, I always used to focus on the little things like planning out my week, planning out my goals for the month and everything like that. But that wasn't really the important activities that I could be focused on throughout the day. I could have been interviewing, I could have been doing personal coachings and really developing a connection with my representatives. But all that stuff wasn't things that I was focused on. So it just goes back to the first tip I gave y'all. Just have the right habits and be disciplined enough to commit to them throughout the day. Number 5. The fifth tip I have for y'all is just to have enough in savings for yourself, just that you feel confident with it. When I was a new manager, I went to Austin for the first time, and for the first 3 months, it was just a growing experience. The sales weren't coming the way I thought. My team wasn't developing the way I thought either. So I was just having to burn through all my savings. So there's not a specific number I recommend you have, but it's just have a number that you feel comfortable with. Have a number that maybe 3 months ahead, all your bills are paid. The sixth tip I have for y'all is just be humble enough to ask for help. One of the biggest things I struggle with as a person is just not being willing to ask people that are more experienced for help. One of the biggest things I can say is just find people that are experts in the business that you're focused on, because if someone's already accomplished it, someone's already being successful with it, you can just follow the model, right? Find the master, follow the model. That's the biggest thing. The seventh tip I have for you is just to pay attention to the little things or the small things, just because a lot of times throughout the day we focus on the right activities, interviews, bigger things, whatever ends up being the main focuses of our day, but those small things end up being some of the things that implement our business the most or impact our business the most, just because that small conversation that you have with the person can end up being one of the biggest things that impacts them. Also just dressing sharp, being on time, those little things that don't really require a lot of attention, but those things are the things that matter whenever you're in business. So the next tip I have for you is just knowing your why. In business, you'll have a lot of ups and downs, you'll have a lot of highs and lows, but when you're in those lows, your why allows you to really pull yourself out of them and just focus on the right activities and being disciplined enough to commit those. When you're at a high point in your business, it allows you to just stay level-headed and commit to just pushing yourself to that next level and continuing to grow. One of the biggest reasons why I do what I do is just because my family, when I was growing up, it ended up being something that we didn't have a lot growing up. We weren't financially stable, so one of the biggest things I want to do for myself is just be able to offer my family right now stability, but I also want to be able to offer my future family stability as well. The next tip I have for you is just having organized goals and schedules. One of the biggest things that people have is that they have a goal, but they don't know how they're going to get there. So when you have a goal, what you want to do is you want to break it down backwards. So for example, if it's a sales number, you just break it down based on the activity that you have to do to get there, right? If it's a savings goal, you just have to focus on how much you need to save per week, whatever the case may be, right? So just knowing your goals, having them broken down all the way to the absolute ridiculous makes them fully attainable, right? And then schedules. Everyone has a schedule throughout the day, or everyone wants to complete the right activities throughout the day, but nobody ever does it because they don't actually put it down on a paper where it's like tasks and things that they need to complete. So the last tip I have for you is just personal growth and business growth go hand in hand. As a new DM or a new district manager, office manager, I realized that a lot of my business wasn't growing just because I wasn't personally growing. I used to hate reading. I used to hate listening to audios and different developmental things just because I thought they were kind of cliches. But it ended up being to the point where once you started reading and really enhancing yourself, you start enhancing your business, whether it be through health, whether it be through knowledge, whether it be through finances. You really just grow yourself and ends up growing your business. That's where you see that quantum growth.